My little nerd world that I go and I binge on the YouTubes and pay attention to geek culture and all that, that does not reflect one for one the overall US economy. However, it doesn't not reflect it either. I think it definitely rhymes. And for the past 3, 4 years, if you're normal, you haven't seen it, but the video game and nerd culture and animus and all that other stuff, they've been going through a tremendous amount of layoffs. Um, you could choose it. I think the most recent one, the one that made me decide to do this was Square Enix. Square Enix undergoes mass layoffs as it reorganizes to consolidate development in Japan. And basically, the short version now, IGN wrote the article, so it's going to be biased. But basically, Japan got sick and tired of the woke shit. Square Enix, Japanese company. I guess they found out some localizers meaning voice actors, right? A video game is made over in Japan or an anime or something like that. It's in Japanese. Americans don't know what it is, so they have to have it come over here and be translated. I think isn't Crunchyroll, aren't you guys one of them? Is Crunchyroll a localizer company? Crunchyroll is something. And these different localizers do not take what the script was in Japan. They input leftist, political, trans, gay, whatever ideology and their political opinion into the translation. Happens in the video games and the comic books, probably also the animations and all that. Any foreign production is lied. They basically come in, put in their leftist politics, sometimes often changing the entire plot. And you just wanted your goofy RPG game from Japan. They're cracking down on that. There's Kotaku, which was a video game website that all the latest releases and all that. They went fully leftist indoctrination, hate white males, hate America, hate capitalism. A lot of them don't even play video games. And they would go and defend all the video games that were made with political leftist messaging. The Gamer last week also, I guess they just outright closed. Also, it would sound like on the face of it, The Gamer. Oh, this is for video games. And you guys remember Nintendo Power? Are you guys old enough to remember that? It was like Sports Illustrated for Nintendo, and here are the new games. There was no politics. It was just fun. Just fun. The Gamer, of course, went leftist, and it wasn't about good video games and all that other shit. And then, I'm sure you're aware of this, if you don't play video games, is a ton of video games came out in the past, let's say even 8 years, where it is obvious you have activists working in your midst, a ballless or compliant and agreeing management that, let's do leftist politics because that's all we got. And you can't even call them video games. It was a message from the Democrat Party. It was just rank leftist indoctrination and propaganda. And here, I got a Wikipedia entry. This is layoffs by quarter. It was huge quarter one in 2024. Layoffs have come down from that peak, but there's still 1,500, 2,000 layoffs per quarter in an industry that isn't all that big. And if I look in the entry level here, what is it? Major job cuts at Embracer Group, Unity Technologies, Microsoft Gaming, Electronic Arts, Sony Interactive, Epic Games, Take-Two Interactive, Ubisoft, that's defunct. They were owned by China now. Sega and Riot Games, those are the large companies. Then the studios, these are the groups of people that the large video game publishers hire to create an individual game. Monolith Productions, Arcane Austin, The Initiative, Ready at Dawn, Volition, London Studios, Pixel Opus, Riot Forge, Hyperpay. There's way more than that. Way more. I've even covered a couple of them. Now, this is a niche market. I'll grant you that. Niche market. But what the video game or the nerd culture and the nerd world and movies and all that show is it skews younger in terms of the employees, right? Your creatives, typically younger people aspiring. Not that there isn't older people in that, but you could see obviously that instead of, oh heck, what was the one? It was another bean mouth. Netflix had a cartoon for kids, and the writer wanted to have one of the characters be trans, and the kid was marketed like 7 to 12-year-olds. Are you sure about that? You sure about that? It became very obvious that you were all indoctrinated to go and change the world. You weren't trained to be good cartoonists, animators, artists, writers, directors, programmers, developers. Said it before, I said it again. You were told to put your politics before the profits, politics before your profession. And it is nowhere, well, I'm sure you could all argue Cracker Barrel and Bud Light and Disney. I'm going to say it's nowhere more pronounced and obvious that an entire generation, in this particular case, millennials, but Gen Z too, some of the Xers too, you were told the most important thing in your life was that you were going to save the world, that you're going to make a difference, and you're going to make a change. They said the same thing to my generation, but I think we were less dumb. I don't know, we weren't as naive. Oh, don't worry. We have our Greta Thunbergs. But I wanted to kind of point out to you guys and definitely future generations, your life purpose was never to save the world. One, you can't save the world, and two, the world didn't need saving. And three, isn't it rich that 17-year-olds about to graduate from high school, when you declare your major, your teachers who also never set foot in the real world, you do know the vast majority of your teachers were in school since they were 5 years old. I'm sure if you get an Iraqi First War vet, and then he did some real work in the real world and then became a teacher later, okay, those people excluded. But did you ever ask or think, why do we need to change the world? Why? Because there's things that aren't right with it. There's injustice. Are you sure it's injustice? Or was it just your teachers saying, oh, other people got more money and bad things happen? Yeah, bad things do happen. And you, Jessica and Jason Christ of the suburbs, you 17-year-old kids are going to save the world. I'll give you a perfect example where they were trying to influence Gen X. Captain Planet, right? It was a gay guy with a mullet wearing spandex, and he curiously hung out with young teenagers. They're going to save the world, and they were evil. It was environmentalism. Oh, it was just leftist environmentalist propaganda. So it was happening, but I don't know. We have more street told. Maybe we hated our parents enough to tell them to fuck off. You know, we had Ferris Bueller. We knew our teachers sucked. But then your teachers, I don't know, were they really good pals, really good friends? Point I'm trying to make is it is absurd to tell 17-year-olds that you have the wisdom, you have the knowledge and the experience, and you have the perspective to know what's wrong with society. You know, society was doing pretty good before we started listening to baby boomer and Gen X and now millennial teachers, right? You could afford houses. Oh, yeah, by the way, your teachers get, but there was racism. It's like, yeah, I think we should do away with that today and just have the same policies of the 50s, right? It's not like it's not like you were a drug addict back then. Yeah, but we could do other good things were happening, We don't have to repeat that part. But if you look at the policies of the world that needed fixing, we had very low unemployment. Yeah, don't you envy the baby boomers and probably the World War II generation? Like, you could afford a house, you could afford cars, you could live on one income. Matter of fact, the first people said they were going to change the world were the hippie baby boomers, the equally naive, and we're going to switch it. Yeah, this 6% GDP growth rate and unemployment below 3% and a living wage out of high school. We better change that fucking shit real quick. Didn't somebody say he was going to change the world too? He was our first affirmative action president, and he said all the pretty things. Wasn't he your God and savior? Wasn't he your leader? How'd things happen after that? What happened to that hope and change? Oh, inflation went up. Well, that's because he tripled the money supply, as did Trump after him. And what's sad is that you're now starting to realize you were lied to. Because this whole, you're going to go save the world and your job is going to be this glorious journalist, political activist, or you're a fucking video game developer. I'm going to make the character trans. I'm doing the good. No, frankly, you were just pawns. You're just dupes of the Democrat Party or a leftist party, depending on which country you're in. You weren't going to save the world. It's just the teachers wanted to tell you feel good bullshit. The teachers themselves wanted to change the world. They couldn't. They became teachers. I mean, they changed it for the worst, raising a bunch of generation. We didn't raise any carpenters, but we sure got a lot of fucking journalism majors, don't we? And they're all working at Kotaku. Here's the problem, though. Not even necessarily your own fault, because who else were you going to trust but the adults? But you followed this bullshit. This was bullshit. It wasn't based in reality. You weren't going to save the world. And the way you were going to save it was not by demanding more free shit or having higher representations of whatever minority groups. I mean, yeah, sure, have a trans person in a movie or whatever. Have a black gal be a hero for a show. That's not going to improve the world, let alone save it. Save it from what, I'm still wondering. And the entire time, did any of you ask to think like, hey, well, who's going to make the food, right? I think this is my latest book, World Without Men. I go through the different industries men and work and their numbers and proportions and percentages. And then you find out, oh, yeah, there's like a shortage of farmers, a shortage of linemen, which means your electricity. But, dude, do we have overeducated liberal arts college graduates coming out of our fucking ears? Nostrils, ears, ass, your urethra. We got up the yin yang. We got overeducated college graduates. None of you produce anything of value. But you are going to save the world with your degree. And now, as it always happens, you'd like basic things like housing, food, electricity. A lot of you are complaining about healthcare. How many of you went into nursing or being a doctor or an x-ray tech or something in the medical field? Yeah, right. You were too busy saving the world. From what, I don't know. Still waiting. The patriarchy. Oh, you mean the guys that built and maintain? You mean men? The guys who maintained the fucking infrastructure and invented practically every fucking thing, who make up about 72% of the doctors, if I remember correctly. Not the nurses, the doctors. Yeah, let's villainize those guys. Well, those assholes over there. Mechanics keeping our cars going. And what's sad is you did, and I think we all recognize this now. You were lied to about your point and purpose in life. You invested your entire youth pursuing it. You went into debt pursuing it for worthless college degrees. Oh, by the way, your professors who lied to you made off like fucking bandits. A lot of rich professors, leftist, socialist, Democrat professors are very wealthy thanks to your generation, not to mention mine, paying them $300 per credit hour and $500 a book. Dude, they used you and dumped you on the side. They got your votes, they got your money, you got the debt. You got to employ a generation of baby boomer and Gen X professors who didn't have a shot at working a real job in the real world anyway. That's why they're professors. And now here you are. What's your point and purpose in life? Where you're getting laid off. I'm surprised that when I was younger, I had a really good paying job, but it was at a .com. And I look back and, okay, the .com bubble bursted. Everyone got laid off. I actually ended up quitting. But people have all gotten fired. That company closed. But having that short 2-year period of time allowed me to save up the money for a down payment on a house. This U.S. aid, nonprofit, government make work, low interest rate, big tech investment, right? You had the economic factors to create, I would say, a 10-year bubble where some of you actually got to work at whatever, Disney or localizers, translators, or video game companies, right? But now the party's over. You've had your hand at trying to bring about a whole new world, which, what was the whole new world? Just people of different genders? That was it? Like, are any of them doctors or carpenters? I don't care if the dude's gay. Can he roof? Can he build a house? And like, where was there a game plan? Did they give you a roadmap saying here's the destination? Was the destination collect underpants, profit, or socialist utopia? Oh my God, where's the magic supposed to happen there? And now that the investors, especially within the private sector, not to mention the taxpayers going through the public sector and Trump, want their fucking money back. Yeah, it's over. This bubble lasted 10 years where you got to be paid to be a propagandist, where you got to be paid to, oh yeah, I'm a writer, but I get to write Marxist leftist horse shit, right? Disney spent Lord knows how many, multiple billions of dollars on leftist propaganda. It was a good time. It was like when I got to work at a .com as a finance director and made good money. I hope you saved your money because it's over now. I mean, there will always be nonprofits, and you get some money from the local or the state government. You get some grant money. Okay. And then you could go and write your leftist indoctrinated. It's surprise. It's all leftist indoctrinated horseshit. It's never like, wouldn't you think there'd be different strategies? Don't you think of the millions of people and the millions of professors and all that one or two of them would say the solution would be not other people's money? Think there's a unifying thing and all the idealism they told you, and therefore that unifying thing is going to make sure none of it works. But at the end of the day, you should be furious. You were lied to. You weren't lied to by Republicans. You were if there was one person to blame, it isn't. But if there was a spokesperson, that'd be Barack Hussein Obama, because he just told you all the flowers and puppy, and you're going to say the blame. Teachers, obviously. And now here you are, late 30s, early 40s, maybe some of you late 20s. You have no skills, no time, probably still have your student loan debt, and you just got laid off because people are, it might have worked. We found out because your entire generation was told the most important thing about you was your traits. And so corporations kind of bet on that. Oh my God, look, a black quadriplegic lesbian female in the latest Star Wars movie. Well, that's not really Star Wars now, is it? What is it? There's a Predator movie where it's a chick flick out now? What the fuck? The Marvels? Oh my God. Target? Here's a gay thong. I don't know what. It's in the kids section. Right, you tried, right? Forget here's a good product at a fair price. Oh, do you happen to be Latino? Well, fellow stupid idiot who only buys things because of the way you were born, we got a sombrero on this Ford Escort. I don't know, whatever. It didn't work. Well, it certainly hasn't worked now with corporate shitification. People want a good product at a fair price. They don't want it drenched in something that's political or... Why is this going off? I hope that wasn't an important alarm. It didn't work. See, you being born away, whatever, race, trait, gender, sexual preference, that doesn't produce GDP, right? There's no economic value to it. It's what you produce that has value. The other thing is not everybody shares that identity or that ideology or that religion or that cult where the way you were born is the most important thing. And we take an absolute shit product, but because it stars a bunch of girls, it should be good. Oh, by the way, here's some leftist indoctrination. People don't like getting lectured on any politics. I'm sorry, you were foot soldiers that were just sent in as cannon fodder for older leftists to advance their political aims. That's all you were. They took your money. They made good little Marxist leftist foot soldiers, good little Democrats. And then you went into the media and the case I'm talking about here, but you went all over the place. You flew some planes upside down and crashed them upside down. Bravo. You made nothing good. Nothing good. You could even have leftist messages, right? A lot of, obviously, creatives lean left. No short of outstanding. One of my favorite movies, even though it's basically, it leads with a quote from not Deng Xiaoping, Mao Zedong, Duck You Sucker. It still was a good movie, obviously made by a leftist, but it was a good movie. You guys put your politics ahead of your professionalism and your productivity and profits, obviously. And I don't care what your professors and teachers told you. When the money runs out, the companies get closed. And it's no better example than all those video game developers that created leftist, Marxist, fucking propaganda slop. No one bought it. Because I don't know, maybe people want to play video games and not be reminded about politics. Even politics they agree with. I don't want right-leaning politics in my video games. I get enough of that fucking shit in the real world. So now you got to figure out, what are you going to do? Because you were not going to save the world. You couldn't save the world, even if it needed saving. Your real purpose in life, millennials, and any future generation, parents and teachers tell you your real point and purpose in life is to enjoy it. And the way you enjoy it is by providing a good or service that compensates you, ideally highly as possible, per hour of your time. So you take that money and you go generally have a loving family with a loving spouse and some loving kids. That's what every human could have. That's the basic. Oh, sure, you could have a more rewarding career. Maybe you go on more adventuresome type of, like I'm more adventurous. I don't have family. I don't ever want one. But you could go out and live. Your life was not work. Your life was not bowing down and sucking Barack Hussein Obama's dick all the time. It was like, oh my God, we got to fight the Patriot. We got to fight this. It wasn't playing Captain Planet. Your purpose in life was to enjoy the short 80 years of life expectancy you got here, the most efficient way of which would be to get a good skill or trade, make good money, find yourself quality people to have in your life, form great relationships with them, eat some good food, probably have some good sex, right? They even ruin sex for you, right? Sex is bad, right? How dare people be in shape and be good looking and men be masculine, women wear dresses? Oh my God, shoot them all right now. Should we shoot him now or wait till we get home? Shoot him now! Shoot him now! The Democrats ruined sex for you. They ruined the opposite sex for you. That's amazing, man. They took it from you. Now, not too late. You got half the game left. Still got second half of the game up here. But if you want to salvage it, you want to actually make some progress, I would start focusing on yourself and give up this save the world. You're going to waste your life like that. Whatever it is, I don't know. I recommend maybe looking into accounting, engineering if you got the time. Me and Chad have a course out there called The World's Greatest Accounting Career, and it teaches you how to get into a career in accounting cheaply without even having to go to school. But I know how much you guys love college. Maybe you can go into more debt. You get out of it with a background in accounting. Going to have to become a plumber. Oh, you're worried about housing prices? What if you were a carpenter? I wonder if that would help you afford a house. Like you could actually build part of it, huh? Wonder about that. Oh, no, you're gonna go down to the latest No Kings rally. Good thing you spent, like, 2 days on that instead of, I don't know, learning how to fix your own car, buying some tools to fix your car because you can't afford a new one. And so, yeah, I actually do feel bad for the millennials and young people in general who are lied to, like, "You're gonna save the world." No, you're not. Saving the world doesn't pay, by the way. And if everyone kinda took care here, crazy idea. If everyone took care of themselves, would the world need saving? Like, if you force people to just, "Hey, you gotta feed yourself. Hey, you gotta take care of it yourself." Right? Yeah, there should actually be some things done to corporations and pay. That's a different discussion. But just philosophically, what if you stop trying to save all the criminals and the drug addicts and the degenerates and what if you just let them be and say, "Yeah, you know what? Don't feed the wildlife. If they figure it out, they figure it out. How about I just worry about myself? I work a job, take care of myself, pay off my debts." And if everyone did that, I wonder if the world would need as much saving as it does today. And so going forward, I hope you salvage the last half of your life. First half has been miserable, right? Whose advice did you follow? "I'm a president with trust fund baby mama, and I'm the nicest, half black guy, president. You should, and if you don't vote for me, you hate black people." Oh my God, Obama. Maybe you stopped listening to that schmuck who, by the way, never worked a day in his life until he became president. That was the first real job he ever had. Look it up. And how about you stop listening to people over 30, okay? How about you just use some common sense? Like, hey, you know what? I bet you mechanics don't wait in the unemployment line too long. I bet you instead of waiting around to get more grant money from some George Soros place or the Democrat Party getting the light, what if I would just go out and I inherited a piece of land. Why don't I go and learn how to frame and pour concrete and build myself a basic house? Why don't I just work 2 jobs, save up money for a trailer and live in that? Or you can go to another protest. Ooh, Occupy Wall Street. Ooh, no kings. Ooh. All that labor and not a fucking ounce of production. And then you will find a real purpose in life, one that you can attain. I would say it's still not well for women. It's too late because your eggs are gone. For the men, though, you could have families. You could all get married, right? You could find each other. You could get in great shape. You could find love. Live, you can't have children unless you guys wanted to marry younger, which obviously you can do. Some men have that option on the table. Ladies, you don't. Ladies, I'm not the one who lied to you about menopause. That was the leftist. That was the feminist. You're gonna have a kid until you're 60. Oh. But your job was not to save the world. The world is becoming a worse place by every objective measure, at least in the United States. I'd say you're part of the problem because you guys didn't major something worthwhile, particularly hurting your generation now. I mean, you do realize each generation has to produce their shit in order to survive. It isn't, let's get government money and protest and wave flags. It's like, that is not refining gas. That's not building an automobile. That's not becoming a nurse so you can provide medical services. Then you find it odd, we got to outsource everything or import immigrants to, do kind of the stuff that was really there's a lot of immigrant nurses that come in because there's a nursing shortage. I don't know, ladies, could you drop the fucking law degree and your undergrad in English and maybe go become a nurse or a nurse practitioner or a doctor? No, you're gonna fight the patriarchy. Ah! How's that dating life coming? Fuck it. Link below is a book called How Not to Become a Millennial. I also have a link down below called The Dad You Never Had, because I know your dads never told you how the basic real world works. Probably because your dads themselves didn't know because they were boomer parents. Trying to help you all turn this around, find purpose and reason in life, and I don't know, a modicum of happiness and stability before you die. Otherwise, what you can do is in the comments below, tell me what an evil fascist dickhead I am. Do what Barack Obama told you to do. Yes, master, whatever you want. Tell the bad, bad man, call him names and Islamophobes. Let me know where that gets you. Inquisitor Tibby, 20 generous stars. Hey, Cappy, not sure if you heard, but Steam is coming out with a PC console system in the Steam machine. I thought it was the Steam Deck. Wasn't that it already? That lets you play the entirety of the Steam library. It looks like the console wars is well and truly over. I am never getting an Xbox or a PlayStation. Oh, by the way, look at Xbox and all their woke shit. Yeah, not doing that. Steam machine. All right, I think I will get a Steam machine. I want to do mods. Like, in case I get a game and it's an ugly chick, I want to do mods and make her not ugly. Although I probably want to buy a game like that, so. Biscuit, $2. Cappy is super short and gahay. I am not super short. I'm short, but I'm not the gahay. We are pro gahay though here at the channel. We are pro everybody, as long as you work for a living and are a libertarian or a conservative. It's true. There are trans. Well, what the former Olympiad guy? He was Republican. Still is. Hand clogs, $5. Cappy, I'm sorry you found out about the Monitor book. Did you check out Happiness by Stephen Cutts? I don't have time, man. Tomorrow I get to deal with the enshittification. I got to go back and provide more documentation to get my business credit card. I got to talk to the insurance agent and say, did you just quote me an insurance product that only covers half my medical expenses? Like, I don't know. When I have insurance, I think like, yeah, I paid the deductible. And you pay for the rest of the shit. That's why I'm getting insurance. Fuck. Oh, by the way, young people, the reason health insurance is so expensive is because you made it free for a bunch of people who don't work in this country. That's why. No, HBV visas are just used for cheap labor for corporates. Yes, I know. Tony the Killer Bee, $5. Cappy says, finding the red pill, I've saved my health, career, and marriage. Oh, good for you, man. Good for you. Bet you lost weight, right? Your wife owes a good-looking man. Don't deprive her of good sex. Man, don't be a fat guy. Red pill guys often preach against marriage, but red pill actually saved mine. What do you think? I think, well, you're already there. You're already married. And red pill, look, all red pill is, it's more the meaning of in the Matrix. It's reality. Do you want reality or do you want the lies? The reality is you're probably some pansified, fat, pudgy guy that your marriage was on the rocks or at risk. And then you got in shape. You stopped being a pussy. Well, I don't know. Maybe improved your finance, your career. Yeah. So you improved your career. You became a better man. And guess what? Women like better men. So, I mean, generally, red pill men are against marriage because it's a legal and financial risk that's just not as acceptable. Plus, it can be replaced. You just get yourself a steady girl. But you already haven't been married. Red pill is just, should I have chocolate or should I have my vegetables? You should have your vegetables. Should I be a fat boss bee and be loud and obnoxious, or should be a nice felt demure woman in order to get a guy? Well, you should probably be a nice felt demure woman in order to get a guy. People don't like truths. Am I poor because of bad luck or evil white male patriarchy, says whatever Christian people? No, it's because you made bad decisions and had more kids you could afford. And you majored in journalism. Once we all start adhering to reality, making decisions based in reality, like I'm not going to save the world. No, I'm not going to make $1 million being a political activist. When we grow the fuck up, then things improve. If I put diesel in my regular car, I'm going to destroy the car engine. We have to abide by reality a little bit, but that's all right. People want to fuck up their lives. Ball muscle, $5. Milking Farm's a bestseller. Yeah. Look, I'm all fine. People have the weird, crazy shit. The fact it's a bestseller, that's the thing. That's the fucking thing. Huh, no wonder girls been flirting with me so much. Look at you. I see what you're doing there. I see, because you're the bull muscle. I get it now. No wonder girls been flirting with me so much. 545 shrug today. Off to Maui tomorrow for hiking. 82 degrees here. Hey, I had a great hike today. Go look at my Instagram. It was like 63, sunny, beautiful. Oh, I had a great hike today. Climbed 2 little mountains. Sup, Zippy, our Italian agent in the field, $5. I got so fatigued from college propaganda in school in 2008 that I decided to go to the military or go homeless. Then 2014 came and I work in an auto shop. You avoided such leftist drama bullshit. You avoided it all. Ken Rose, $5. Happy post V Day, Cappy. Thank you, Ken, and thank you to all the vets out there. Bigger in Texas, $5. I started my own septic company 5 years out of high school. I now employ 12 people and net 450. Where have all the good men gone? But bro, you don't have an MBA, bro. Ew, you don't have a college degree. You work with poo. Ew, gross. It pays to work on shit because no one else will. Yeah, ladies, you want to close the wage gap? I'm sure he's hiring. Sup a Zippy, $10. I'm thinking of using a 3D printer to make plastic motorcycle engine cylinders to make molds to cast new aluminum motorcycle cylinders, as they're very scarce. Do it. Do it. Why not? I mean, it doesn't seem like that much. To cast aluminum, though, you're going to need a furnace. That's going to be the expensive part, won't it? And how good is it going to be? Like, I don't know anything about melting aluminum and recasting it. Brother Tobias, $5 going to CDL school because dream jobs are BS, and I hate warehouse work. The reason dream jobs suck and pretty much don't exist is because everyone's chasing them. You have a flood of people going into those markets. In order to differentiate yourself from everyone else, you got to play backstabby politics. Nope. There's no way I'll ever go work in HR or DEI or even white collar profession. Nope, not happening. $5 from Space Cowboy. Degrees, debt, and endless school is beaten into you as a millennial. Exactly. A ritual that somehow shields you from any dangers of the world. It failed. You guys are all paying inflation. You're paying higher prices. And sorry, you mostly voted it in on yourselves because you still wanted to believe in free shit. You all like Donald Trump when he was giving you the free checks too, right? I bet you all were okay with that. Space Cowboy, $10. Older sister is in her mid-40s and still chasing a master's in psychology. I bet she's so... Shouldn't you be like ecstatically happy and content in life before you go and major in psychology, right? Before you start telling people about their mental health, shouldn't you be the epitome of mental health? I asked my mom how much school does she need and when is she finally going to start working, Mom? It doesn't matter if she has a degree. Well, yeah, it doesn't as long as she starts working. Oh, you know whose problem that is? Hers. Like 40, man. Like you're still figuring shit out at 40. You need a student loan bailout. I know everyone lied to you. I get it, but when you say, "Oh, I was lied to," maybe I ought to just think about things a little bit first. Driss Crab, £5. 70% of divorces initiated by women is misleading. Plenty of times women initiate because the man was done, but avoided the legal steps due to the costs. Yeah, no, that happens. Yeah, I believe you. Absolutely. There you guys go. All right, that's it. I'm going to go buy some soda water. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.